call nicely. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're doing well. This is a pinch of magic. Morning coffee. Aaron's the second one. Don't need it, but I'm doing it anyway. Because coffee tastes amazing. Yes, hi, Lily. Lily's a good girl over here. Lily's a very good girl. She's a very good girl. So let us begin a pinch of magic. What is your name? My name is Blue Rose. Interesting. We'll go with they, them, and the female. It's on my thing. It's hi, Lily. Do I hit return? I hit return. Okay. Oh, it's a yawn. Okay. I let a freeing yawn as I leaped down from the bus onto the pavement below, bags in hand. Finally made it. Drinking in the familiar surroundings, I take a moment to execute some quick squats. Must have been sitting for a while. The brisk stretcher size is exactly what my compressed muscles ordered. All stiff from the several hour-long bus ride from the city to the ocean. Yeah. I wonder if this is how Jack in the Box feels when they pop out. Yeah, probably. Newly energized, I extended my arms to the tropical sun as if to pluck it from the sky and take in a greedy lungful of delicious sea air. As always, the warm climate here on the coast feels as though it's welcoming me back home. Back to the place where I belong. I've missed all this. I've missed this, all of it, and ahead of me is a summer-long period of peace. I just graduated high school, and from now on there'll be no parents, teachers, or peers reminding me with my every breath that I'm waiting at the end of my teenage years with no direction, just the sun, the sea, and this place. My destination? The tranquil seaside of Linsdale. Nestled in a quiet, crescent-shaped cove on the coast, licked by the starry deep blue waves of the East Sea, some people have taken to friendly nickname it Moon Bay. Pretty occultic name of all things considered. But it always seemed perfectly apart because it's also the town of my grandmother, my Baba calls home. She just so happens to be an exceptional and eccentric witch. And all these years later, and I still wouldn't put it past her to have coined Moon Bay herself, just because it might help drum up business among the magic folk. For the first time in 3 years, she's asked me to visit this summer. Can't wait to resume my magic training, my fingers electrified and ready to tingle at the prospects. Reaching my pocket of my hoodie, feeling for the letter she sent, making sure it's still there. Yep, nobody except the wildly old woman would write like this anymore. There's no time like the present, unable to hide my eagerness to see her again. I hoist my bags up to my shoulders and take off at a sprint up the staircase, leaving the bus stop far behind. And once I leap across the threshold of the stairway's end, I see the sight I've longed to see and open my lungs wide. I'm not feeling that energy, I'm sorry. that much energy. My grandmother's cafe stands before me. Monument among the other buildings, utterly unchanged, like a moment in time, perfectly preserved the way I always remembered it. It reminds me of my childhood, of iced tea in the summer, sea salt ice cream, and freer days spent under Baba's... that word. Wow. Okay, maybe I should finish the second cup of coffee before doing this. That, in itself, is a rare kind of magic that leaves me spellbound. Naturally, my peepee cry draws the attention of several passers outside the store, many of whom recognize me and wave in greeting. You're just so cute. Well, I'll be if it isn't Blue Rose. Been a spell since you've been back. Still kept that strange habit of greeting the cafe like it's a person I see. Walked in the barn last week, took a big inhale, it was like, oh, it feels like home. Oh, I miss the smell of the stable. Oh, that stretch felt great. Well, she's not wrong, I guess. I am a little too old to be shouting in public. That's adorable. Hi, Lily. You're adorable, too. I'm probably gonna regret this. Come here, old girl. Come on. Let me see your foot. Oh. There you go. There you go. Hey, it's EA! Good morning to you. You happy puppy now? Well, she's not wrong. I guess I'm a little old for shouting in public. How are you this morning, EA? But as Baba used to say, a witch breathes magic and life into all things. Every word is a charm, every sentence a spell. Now that I think about it, it's totally possible she was just hoodwinking an extremely gullible 5-year-old, but well, it's a cute tradition, so who cares? Why are you licking my table? Lily, are you trying to get my food? Is that why you wanted on my lap? You just wanted my food? I'm good, tired from my work week, so chilling today. Well, you chill and vibe. You relax. You deserve it. I wave energetically back. Your butt is kind of bumpy though, dog. Can we scooch you sideways a little? There we go. Hey there, it's good to see you again. Do you know if my grandma is about? The question seemed to give her a pause, and she forces a smile which can... Don't lick the mic. Don't lick the keyboard! Ugh, doggy. Which can only be read as guilty embarrassment. Oh, you mean she... Well, I'm not too sure. I haven't been in for coffee for a while. See, anyways, nice to see you, kid. Oh, that's sussy. Before I get a chance to respond, she scurries off over the hill, leaving me standing in confusion at the coffee shop door. What in the hemlock was that all about? Yeah, I like that. Glancing over the cafe again, my eyes narrow suspiciously and roam up and down the building. I finally noticed one extremely telling clue. It's the height of morning, and yet the curtains are shut tight. Fiercely still is how quiet it is. Yes, I know. Spoiled. Wait, don't tell me. I practically kicked the door down in my provoked state, and once inside, all my suspicions were confirmed. Not only are the lights switched off, not only are there no customers, not only has the door clearly been left unlocked with complete disregard of nasty top of that, Baba is nowhere to be found. Hi, yes, my baby. The lingering fragrance of sweet teas and bitter coffees temporarily catches me off guard, filling my nose and mind with happy memories, but I quickly remember why I'm here. I stump across the cafe floor, in big strides, making a beeline for the door at the far end of the room. A door hidden behind a heavy satin curtain and bewitched to be invisible to all non-magic customers. Baba! Baba! Baba Yaga! I stopped dead in my tracks in the secret room, floor to ceiling with mystical objects. It's Baba's crystal ball table. The table, radiating with memories of afternoon sittings in her lap, poring over dusty tomes, and having the wonders of magic whispered in my ear. And now at the table, clearly awaiting my arrival, is a small paper ornament, an enchanted letter folded into a shape of a miniature rabbit. When I enter the room, it turns up its ears and bounds from its slumber, hopping to the table edge to greet me. Hi. You just want my food. You just want my food. You don't love me. You want my food. You love me? Oh. Let's give you an actual dog treat. I would recognize this magic anywhere. Baba would, while hours away, fold these words. Baba would, while away, hours folding these critters for me as I studied until she had gifted me with the entire animal kingdom out of paper. It never failed to put a smile on my face. Which can only mean she's buttering me up for some unsavory news. Do you want down? You want to lay down or you want to get down? You can lay down. You want to get down? No, you want to be part of the fun? Okay. Watch out for the mic. Or not. I skeptically scoop up the paper rabbit in my hand, and at the touch of my finger, upon its nose, it unravels itself. Sure enough, my grandmother had inked a note in cursive inside. My dearest Blue Rose, I have ran away. No licks. Since I was the one who invited you to stay with me this summer, I'll venture that this will come as a shock to you. It wasn't part of my plan, but running the cafe has beginning to feel rather dull. I remember it's mugwort season, and also that witch folk are hosting a mushroom picking festival in the mountains, much less droll by far. Oh, Baba. Looking for those magic mushrooms. Do not come searching for me. Write to me, though, if you want me to bring you back some mugwort. Otherwise, I shall bring you nothing. Bring back some mugwort. Like, I want magic mushrooms too, Baba. Come on, let's make this family trip great. Take care of the place while I'm gone. P.S. I hope you have money. The pantry is empty. Baba! I knew it! Lily, you gotta stop licking. Oh, I missed it. Oh, whatever. Slid me into one of the table's squishy cushions. I threw my arms up in defeat. I absolutely should have expected this. Flying through life by the seat of her pants, living by her every whim, dropping things when they no longer suit her. The entire situation reaches into a far recess in my mind, conjuring up echoes of countless other past examples of how Baba could be. Closing up at noon to go skinny dipping in the ocean, hosting a Lua party, then passing out after an hour on her own deadly magic punch, her crimes of Africanism. Oh, Baba was fun. Stop little lickies. I can't do anything if you just keep licking. No lickies. She may have taught me everything I know about magic, but early on I had to master brewing tea and coffee, not just potions, just to keep this place running smoothly. Baba. Suddenly dawned on me exactly why the pest buyer had acted suspiciously. I bet she cut and run days ago and told everyone in town not to breathe a word. Yep, sounds about right. No matter how you cut it, she's just running from her responsibilities again. I seriously have no clue how she managed to keep this place running all these years. There's a secret room that only magic folk can see, and she's going mushroom picking. I think I know exactly how Baba has kept this place going. Don't you? Like, put two and two together. It equals a very magical 4. My lips pressed together into a thin, stubborn line. Mugwort tea is my favorite, though. Of course it is. Sigh. Guess it's time to go shopping. An hour or so later, I made progress in the cafe's sorry state. The door now locked and the curtains still tightly drawn, I made sure to use the privacy by enchanting Baba's dustpan and broom and setting them to work on the floor. Yes, wish I had that. We whizzed about the room in a waltz, making quick work of any dust and grim in their path. After a brief inspection, all that remains of the fridge is a curdled bottle of milk. The pantry cupboards have also been harboring nothing but dust, but were saved earlier by a trip to the local supermarket. Rest in peace, poor wallet. Luckily, it also seems the cafe's more expensive wares are in the plentiful stock. The exotic plethora of tea leaves and unground coffee beans have been safely stored in bags and dry containers. The mills and other two are in good working order. Knowing Baba's devil-may-care attitude, the situation here should have been far worse. I should count my blessings she didn't let any rats inside those sacks. Well, then you wouldn't be able to make front money. Yes. Just that moment, as if my words had personally offended her offers, Baba's cat slinks into the room, up under the counter, and glares at me. There you are, Hannibal, a witch's familiar reduced to a rat catcher. How the mighty fall in the wrong hands. But since you don't have anything better to do, if you see me about, be sure to let me know. When I reach across the counter to scratch beneath her neck, she forgets her grumpiness in a heartbeat and pads off to the bedroom for an afternoon nap. With the dustpan and broom soon done with their work, I thank them for their service and quickly finish putting the cupboards in order. After a satisfying stretch, I pull back the curtains to survey the place in triumph. Watch out, Linsdale. We're back in business. Standing there with hands on my hips, it's a funny feeling that courses through my chest. A kind of liberation and pride that comes out of being free of wantonly spell cast for the first time in a painfully long while. I miss it even more than I thought I would. Not too rusty though, thankfully. Earl, my animal's acting weird today. Oh yeah? Which one of the child's toys did you steal and walk off around with? His meows are muffled, so I know he's got something in his mouth. Always something of my daughter's. Hi. Well then, the last port of call is to flip that sign. After that, I guess it's time to brew some criminally delicious coffee. And with that, I should have a sip of coffee. You can have I'm sorry. I don't think we can have almonds either. As soon as I step outside, I pause. My senses are once more blasted, or once more splashed by the salty air, the sun's warmth, and the far-off songs of soaring flocks of seagulls. And in my line of sight, the sea itself, a shimmering crystal blue, calling me back to its edge. Well, I've worked pretty hard, if I do say myself. Well, I have worked pretty hard, if I do say so myself. Just a little stretch of the legs beforehand wouldn't hurt. Not really. You could open this up tomorrow. Just like be happy you're here today. That's what I would do. Spent like a really long bus ride. And so with slow and drilling strides, I crossed the pavement and paced down the small stone stairways leading to the beachfront. I take my time enjoying the afternoon breeze and the journey all the way to the boardwalk and beyond. When I reach the beach edge, I slide off my shoes, press on, free and barefoot in the sand. It softly envelopes my feet as I walk, like a floor made of satin. The waves, too, felt like rolls of crystalline sand sheets being unraveled onto the shore, rolling over rocks, shells, and themselves, and gently slipping back to the source. As ever, Moon Bay, you're almost too perfect for words. I flop myself down in the sand, stretch out my legs, and searching along the water's surface for something. I wonder if she's still out there. Before I can continue that thought, the phone in my back pocket hums, and when I retrieve it, I see several texts incoming from my parents. The messages cascade simultaneously into the group chat, making it plainly obvious they're both sitting beside each other, typing with a joint agenda. Did you arrive safely? You forgot to text us. We were worried. How's Baba? Is she doing well? How's her back? And there it is. I sigh, typing back my regular response whenever they're awkwardly attempting to bring her up. If you're that worried, you could always, try talking to her yourself, Dad. I'm sure she'd like to hear from you, from both of you. After a brief exchange ending in I love yous all around, I fling my phone to the side and fall back into the sand bed. The history between my parents and Baba was fractured, to say the least. In this world, there are so many people are gifted with the ability to wield magic, we hide what we are for an easier life. Hundreds of years ago, those without the gift feared us, persecuted us, and worse. The world was messy. The witch folk decided, almost unanimously, that it's better to fade into you than to cause trouble. Nowadays, as far as the rest of normal society is concerned, it's known that we exist out there somewhere, but rarely do you see a witch shouting it from the rooftops. Despite the good I know we do, it's no glory in it all. As for my parents and Baba, well, Baba has always been a talented witch. The first time I was sent here to stay with her for the summer, I was 3. She showed me a few simple spells, and even though I could barely speak, I guess I was a natural. I still remember her sweeping me up when I successfully levitated a paperclip. She was so giddy, it was impossible for her to contain herself. But my parents were different. They never taught me magic, never encouraged me to learn it. All they wished for me was to be utterly normal life. They asked Baba to stop teaching me, and that was that. Or so they thought. When they found out I'd flown in the face of their disapproval and was secretly been studying hard under Baba every summer for 10 years, oh boy. I remember that day. Dad's face went a shade of blue I didn't think was possible outside of being hexed. After that, the relationship became strained. They stopped talking, I became their mediator, their owl ferrying messages back and forth. Hi. I stopped visiting Linsdale for a while to give them all the time to cool off. Sigh. A normal life, a boring life devoid of magic. I feel empty just at the thought of it. But honestly, I don't really have the first clue about what to do with the future. If only witch folk don't have to hide who we are. Like we're only half A. Bring magic back, I don't know. As I raise myself back up to hug my knees, I realize that I've been absently dragging a finger through the sand this whole time. I've drawn nothing remotely artistic, of course. Just a bunch of badly drawn swirls that barely resemble shapes at all. Those are almost as terrible as Kia's. Spark ignites the recollection of my mind. Spark which sends me flying back to before I had interrupted my parents' messages, back to the thoughts of a friend from long ago. My eyes meet the sea again. Kia's home, my childhood friend who have been as much a part of my summer as Linsdale as my grandmother. She was an extraordinary person in her own right, a mermaid who befriended a witch. Hi. You want down? You want down? Go ahead. No? Okay. Good girl. You should. Shy and a little fumbling at the beginning, she barely grasped human language. Kai was just about the only sound she could make. We communicated by drawing shapes in the sand, and though hers were terrible, I got pretty good at deciphering them. I could still clearly remember our first meeting. Here on the shore, I was 5. Mom and Dad had just asked Baba to stop teaching me magic, and I was wailing to the ocean at the top of my lungs. It was only once my tears had dried up that I noticed a curious baby mermaid who had snuck away from home to investigate the surface was peering at me through the waves. As I reminisce, a smile spreads across my face. Kai, that's right. I wonder if she and her family even still swim in these waters. With renewal purpose, I leap up, dust myself off, tread up and down the beach, scanning the waves for any sign of movement. But unsurprisingly, I didn't find a trace of her anywhere. There isn't a fin in sight. Well, that'll teach me for being willfully optimistic. As if mermaids would ever venture this close to shore. They'd be found out in a heartbeat. Still, I haven't exhausted all the tricks up my sleeve just yet. Determined, I set off up and down the beach once again, this time with my eyes to the sand, scouring the golden floor for a very particular object. And finally, wedged between some barnacled rocks, I find exactly what I'm looking for. A conch, shimmering, weighty to the touch. And more importantly, in the hands of a witch, it's a horn that when blown can sing a song only a mermaid can hear. It was an ancient spell Baba had taught me as a child, used by the old witches in times to call mermaids to their aid. And together, Kai and I had repurposed it. Since the day we met, it had been my way of communicating with her. I'm here, I want to see you. Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out she's still there listening for me. As I play cautious, I spin about, checking for onlookers. But this corner of the beach is deserted. Really, I pet the cat. So jelly. So needy and jelly today. So, reaching into the recesses of my mind of the ancient spell, I pluck out its melody note by note, and whisper my request to the shell at my fingertips. Of the waves, my bottomless heartbeat and ocean love built just for thee. And if thou art astray in faraway foam, the song of my sea will call you home. As the conch begins to gleam, I gather my breath and blow gently into its tip. I'm not imitating that. But no matter how many times I call, Kai doesn't appear, and the waves simply keep rolling over the sand at my feet, slowly soaking in and causing me to sink. She left in search of somewhere better after all. No Baba, no Kai, this truly has shaped up to be a pretty miserable summer. The pang of pain I feel in my chest is suddenly, but not unexpected. 3 years ago when I said goodbye and left Linsdale, I didn't know it would be for the last time. I didn't get a chance to tell her. Somewhat sad, my shoulders droop a little. She always was so timid and unsure of herself. I wonder if she waited every summer for me to come back, and I never did. Never one to let sadness get the better of me for long. I clapped my cheeks together. After the very least, I know right now what I can do is I see her off with a smile. I'm sorry, Kai, but I hope wherever you are swimming happily. Well, your drawing doesn't suck anymore. After exhaling my feelings into the afternoon air, I turn heel and head back towards the stairs. It's time to open the cafe for the evening. But as my head swims through the thoughts of coffee beans, recipes, and measurements, I forget to check for obstacles in my path, and before I know it, I collide with somebody else. Very pretty. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. The bump had successfully knocked me down a stair or two, but as I shake off the pain, her eyes meet mine. With golden irises, her amethyst hair, everything about her beauty is dazzling, and it temporarily catches me off guard. Phew, I'm grateful she seems unharmed. I run my fingers through my hair, somewhat embarrassed. Not at all, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention either. Are you alright? Yes, Her quiet voice quickly trails off, but she continues to stare at me with great intensity, looking me up and down with wide eyes. That's right, the cafe. I don't have time to be wasting here. So I flash her a polite smile and shoot back up the hill, excusing myself. Well, I'm sorry again. Have a nice evening. ... Huff huff. Large leaping strides bring me back to the hill in record time. With the afternoon sky already fading into an orange glow, evening is practically here. I have no concrete grasp of how long Baba's Cafe has been closed since she cut and ran, but there's one thing I know for certain, as if I don't want to keep Linsdale patrons waiting any longer. It's funny. If I let slip that Baba's irresponsibility is what put me in this mess in the first place, I'm actually excited. Rushed about, serving special blends, putting smiles on customers' faces. It was difficult at first, maybe, but I grew to love it. Positive vibes, blue rose. Maybe this would be a good summer after all. With new energy, I began to mentally roll up my sleeves. Just as I was around the corner, an unpleasant sight makes me newly sink faster into the stone anchor. What the? Directly outside the cafe, pulled unceremoniously up to the curb, is a garish red sports car. It's brand new and clearly far too expensive to belong to any resident in Linsdale. Are you serious? What sort of self-centered idiot parks this car square in front of a shop entrance? Already ticked off, I watch as an elderly man with a cane struggle to shuffle through the gap in the pavement, grasping at the cafe wall for support. He gets his revenge as he passes by, though, flipping the verge of the car's tinted windows as he goes. You go, Grandpa. And if I had any doubts that this ride would spell trouble, they'd blown away as soon as the driver steps outside. A tall blonde, frumpen glasses and jean jacket slams the door behind him, yawning loudly. Leaning back lazily onto the car roof, he slips his sunglasses up to his hairline and clicks his tongue at the elderly man's back. I'm about to storm up and give him a piece of my mind when he pulls out his phone, the latest model it looks like, and begins snapping up landscape shots of the cafe. May I help you? Sliding his free hand casually into his back pocket, he turns to flash me a smile. It's so not cute. I don't like you. Are you the owner? I square my shoulder as much as humanly possible, arms folded crossingly. Yes, I am. Name's Blue Rose, and I don't appreciate you blocking the door for my customers' use. Customers? He cockily raises his eyebrows and looks around for a now very empty street. He pulls down his sunglasses once or twice in a mocking motion. Well, how about that? I guess my description's wrong because I don't see a single soul sniffing around. Looks like what you have here is a bona fide dead spot. F you. You better not be insulting my cafe. Another consigning smile slowly stretches across his face. He clearly looked down on me and doesn't care to provide any kind of answer. He just continues on, ignoring my questions. Well, this looks cute and chill. Hello, Dorcadia. How are you? So far it is. I want to punch this dude, though. Not an insult per se, but as it so happens, this is the exact sort of place I'm looking for. With a twinkle in his eye, he straightens up and spins his phone into both hands. His whole demeanor changes. I'm barely functioning, waiting for coffee to finish brewing. Well, you get your coffee and then you enjoy your day. I actually made a second cup of coffee just for this. So what's your specialty here? You serve something other than salty tap water, I assume? I'm gonna freaking punch this dude. Sure, there's a bottle of rancid milk in the fridge with your name on it. Do it! Do it. Yes, all those things. We aren't some kind of backwater cafe that only serves standard drip swell. So you run this place with somebody else? My grandmother. She's not here right now. So what's this place called? Are you freaking kidding me? Look at the damn sign, poster boy. Yes. Oh, slap this dude. Slap him. You make fancy coffee too, so it's probably taking a minute for it to... I'll just throw it in the Keurig and walk away. I haven't made French press in a minute. I should do that. I sigh loudly and dramatically. Coffee curiosities. I love it. His fingers pause their tapping for a moment. He takes the time to raise a smug eyebrow at me. Right, bravo. No, really, it's inspiring. A little desperate and only slightly nauseating. You don't piss off the people who handle your food. And you're pissing me off. Oh. Like, seriously pissing me off, dude. He stands up straight and takes one more large, gulping glance at the cafe's facade. Then he flips his phone, snaps a headshot of my startled face. F you, dude. This is a perfect blend of material from my blog, that is. F you, dude. Your blog? It gives me a look that is equal parts smug. Ugh, perhaps the most punchable expression I've ever seen. Do it. Punch him. You have no idea who I am, do you? A frump that's about to get punched? Wait, now that I get a really good look at him, he actually does look somewhat familiar. Here, a souvenir. Don't bend it, no. With a wink, he slips a business card into my hand. Fancy gold script spells out cuisine blogger and the name Mikal. Thanks. Guess I'll use it when I run out of toilet paper. I snap the card from his fingers, making sure to look thoroughly unimpressed as I do. Charmed, I'm sure. Now then, let's hope your cafe wildly lives up to my expectations, shall we? I can feel my blood boiling From the way that smirk plays the edge of his mouth, it's perfectly obvious what his expectations are. Though I still can't place his face, I've read about bloggers just like him. Vindictive types, crisping around the country, targeting coffee shops with small customer bases, searching for the worst of the worst for their scathing reviews like sharks feast on krill. For a second time, I slide my gaze grimly over his red sports car. Ugh. I suppose when you're the scum of the surface of the industry, it doesn't matter if you destroy business wherever you go, as long as those clicks keep coming. Well, he's not gonna drag Bubba's Cafe through the mud on my watch. So here I am, in the flesh, your only paying customer and all that. I drove 2 hours from the city to find this place. Aren't you gonna let me in? No, I'm gonna fucking punch you. I stride up the door and start to unlock it. But inwardly, with boiling blood is starting to boil over, I'm in no mood to play nice. In fact, just for the audacity of coming here and trying to mess with the witch's business, I'm perfectly happy to play just a little dirty. With the help of some magic. Slipping my hand inconspicuously behind my back, I start to weave a spell in the air. I step towards him, all the while a sweet smile plastered my face. Sure, I don't have a problem with that. You're welcome to try my coffee. Quickest way to get you off my property. But you might not want to step inside just yet, because high road or low road? Mature or petty? Petty. You left the handbrake off your car. He spins out just in time to see a shiny red ride slowly slip back down the hill, unloose the wheels. I accept this. Bianca, come back. Yes, Malachi bolts immediately, tripping over himself down the uneven cobble streets in pursuit. Yes. Granny, yeah, threefold law. She's gonna get some comeuppance, but worth it. That car's moving so slowly, he'll manage. It's fine, right? Arcadia, please. This coffee's done. Bianca! And down goes Malachi like a sack of spuds. Oh, his face acquaints itself with the pavement with a colossal clap. Uh-oh. The car too reaches the steep incline and starts to speed up. Nobody's gonna catch it on foot now. I stretch out my arms, frantically inking a new magic circle in the airspace around me. But I'm unable to cast the reversal magic in time. Oh no, and the car into the lamppost. After a few teetering seconds, said lamppost tips forward, but thankfully stops just short of smashing onto the roof. Oops. Yeah, threefold law. But he kind of deserved it. I rush forward and falls upon the car in misery, like a man whose soul has been crushed. He just tried to crush my soul, so it's only fair. Now I'm trying to validate what just happened. Bianca, my darling, no, no. Oh my god, Father's going to kill me. Bring, bring. With the timing so immaculate, I'm almost convinced I somehow cast a second spell. Malachi's phone explosively starts to ring. Upon seeing the caller ID, the blood drains from his face. Beep. Father. it's so good to hear from you. No, I'm fine. You're back from Hawaii. Well, yeah, of course I can, but, about the car you bought me. Well, see, it's a funny story. Having completely forgotten me, Malachi woefully shuffles away, out of earshot, to take the phone call. That wasn't my fault, right? It kinda was, but at the same time, he kinda needed reality check. Not accident, Blue Rose, not vandalism, just an accident. Of accident? Axelism? Nope, nothing to worry about. And so mostly smog, yet just ever so slightly regretting my influence on the turn of events. I take the opportunity to back away through the cafe doors, swinging the sign to open along the way. The minutes and then tens of minutes painfully tick by. Not a single potential customer steps inside, or even hazards a peek at the windows. I start by leaning over the counter, head in palm, alternating between watching the clock hands and the bell above the door. But I quickly get bored, and my twitchy hand taps the counter, searching for something to do. Malachi's business card is nearby, exactly where I'd thrown it earlier. So I retrieve it and twirl it around absentmindedly. Let's find out how famous this guy really is. Whoa, seriously? A quick phone search pulls up hundreds of results. Blog posts with hits into tens of thousands, sponsorships ties to worldwide cafe chain, Moonbox. Tim Hortons is better than Starbucks any day. A hefty follower base on social media and even a narcissistic modeling portfolio of monochrome shirtless photography. Oh my. Just great. Just as if I didn't have enough problems right now. And what's with these pictures? He's dripping wet in half of them. Did someone turn the hose on or something? So stupid. Now more urged than ever, I chuck my phone aside and go back to watching the clock. All this inactivity of doing nothing except stiffening my muscles and making me anxious. 30 minutes and not a whiff of anybody, not even one of the regulars. This can't be right. I recall my previous summers here when there were always non-magic and witch folk around, mingling, joking, shooting friendly banter back and forth with Baba. Back then, her cafe had never seemed wanting for patrons. Each day, a steady stream of satisfied customers would come and go at an even pace. It had never been busy, but it was comfortable. Sure, it's unlike there's been a lot of witchcraft making the trip right now. Sure, there'd be a lot of witch folk making the trip right now. No doubt they're all up in the mountaintop with Baba, picking mugwort and betting on drunken duels. See? Like, she even knows what's going on. Come on. But for there to be no non-magics around either, I glance back at the clock, disappointed by what I see. It's far too late now to be trying to pluck customers off the street. But if I root around, then maybe there's something new lying around here someplace. So determined to be productive in some capacity, I crawl around through some of the lower kitchen cabinets, hoping to find something of use to attract new customers in the morning. Said that a little too fast. Sensing activity, Hannibal slinks into the kitchen, curls around my legs, and with a pointed meow, he leads me to a hatch under a rug on the floor below one of the open cabinets. Good job, Hannibal. He purrs silkily and continues to circle around as I rummage through the contents of the hatch box. This isn't much to use, but I do stumble on an old signboard for advertising and some pastel chalk sticks. This is perfect. And if I spruce it up a little, they'll do for a little mini menu at the end of the street. Hannibal pokes her little head beneath my arm, demanding scratches for her hard work. I'm so distracted I fail to hear the bell chime at the door. Good girl. Who's gonna get some fishy wishies tonight? That's right, you are. Excuse me. Oh. Just a second, I'll be right with you. Hushing the bruised crown of my head that just exchanged blows with the cabinet door, I totter embarrassedly back onto my feet and heave myself over the counter. A radiant sight greets me. Hey, it's the hot chick. Oh, hello. Fishy wishies? Sorry, I was talking to the cat. Oh, I remember you. Her eyes visibly spark and her cheeks peeking. You do? Of course, the lady from the beach, right? I'm so sorry again for bumping into you back there. No, that's quite alright. So that's what they meant. Somehow she looks kind of sad. Did I say something wrong? An awkward silence settles over us as it stretches on. She starts to comb my finger nervously through the loose curl of her hair. Well, this is a fine way to start the evening by making my only customer uncomfortable. Well, technically she's your second. The first one, accidentals, is car, so. Applying my kindest, most sincere smile, I gesture towards one of the seats at the counter. I can at least salvage the situation by acting professional now. Where are my manners? You're here to order, right? What can I get you? We have a menu around here somewhere. As I roamed around behind the counters, though her body language is shy, the woman's striking sandy eyes watch me intensely. I can't help but feel a little nervous. Ah, here it is. I slide the menu across the counter, a lavish high-end tablet listing all of our served items, including coffee blends, black, white, and green teas, small meals, and desserts. But this tablet, much like the cafe itself, has a magically kept secret up its sleeve. The coffee cup-shaped tab at the screen, enchanted to be invisible to non-magic customers, conceal a hidden second menu, one that displays some of Baba's oldest potions and other recipes designed for more magical patrons. I admit I was surprised early to find such a thing myself. A paper menu was all that had existed before. But the tablet looked brand new and screamed impulse purchase, which unfortunately had happened to be one of Baba's many bad habits. I might be Baba. Some of this is starting to sound like Baba. Like I might be Baba and Baba's life sounds great and I need to enhance more Baba-ness into my life. The woman graciously takes the tablet from me, tucking a periwinkle curl behind one of her stylish earrings. She began scrolling through the menu. She's so elegant and glamorous, and her eyelashes have this beautiful, doughy quality to them, like black waves breaking the beach at night. So strong with this association, I was curiously struck by a sense of familiarity, but then, you have nothing new on the menu, I take it? Oh, sorry, you could say I'm somewhat of a regular here. I know this place and its owner very well. Then I take it you also know my grandmother's out of town right now. I do, but it's no trouble at all. I didn't come here today to see her. She tilts her head shyly. It's a devastating move, but I don't think she's doing it on purpose. Is she enjoying her vacation? Oh yeah, I'm sure she's having a whale of a time. Baba's high as fuck right now, and we all know that. She's pulled stunts like this far too often. I'm half convinced she drags me back here just to rope me into running this place for a few weeks. This This woman shuffles somewhat bashfully in her seat, lowering her eyes to her lap. Well, if it brought you back to Linsdale, then I'm glad she did. Just think of this as a words encounter. Coffee. Did she mean to say serendipitous? Cool, I'm not the only one. With a gentle smile, she clears her throat and taps the screen with her nail. The highlighted drink is a salty kelp latte. A popular sea-based item from the secret menu. This one, if I may, it's my usual order. Sure thing. It'll be just a moment. I flash her a knowing smile before stepping over to the kitchen area to prepare her order. As I lay my hands on the glass bottle of kelp leaves, a spark of inspiration hits me. And so I... With nobody else here, why the ordinary when I can afford to be a little flamboyant? With a snap of my fingers, a series of illuminating shapes trace the air, ingredients heed my call and begin to dance around me in a flourish. A dash of seawater, a pinch of sugar, and the star of the show, salty kelp. Kelp blades wave their way through the air until they collide and pirouette, crushing themselves into a fine powder. It falls like emerald snow into the basin of a china cup that dances its way into the woman's hands. Wow, it's so... pretty cool, huh? But the magic show is not finished yet. Last to arrive is the steamed milk. Unfurling itself from the nearby jug like... This is the new set of milk, right? This isn't the other one that we want to give the other guy, right? Yeah, one swing cup, slowly mixing the other ingredients. Please be the... Oh no, I'm scared. Don't give the hot lady bad drink. As the last drop falls, I bring my palms forward to bless the drink with one final drop of something special. A pinch of magic. And now for the finishing touch, could you tell me your name? She looks agitated as if she has particular trouble answering that question. It's, Kyanna. Alright, sit tight, Kyanna. I reach across the counter for a thin, nuzzle bottle filled with caramel and in small, delicate letters, write her name across the milk foam. And there we have it. Bon appetit. She puts the drink to her lips, and the warm steam brings a soft flush to her cheeks. A small, content sigh escapes her as she returns the cup to the saucer. So, my salty kelp latte, does it meet a mermaid's approval? Yes, it's so, very much so. It's gumptious. Glad to hear it. But I'm sure you mean scrumptious. Oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. English language is still so, hard. Right. I've been studying for so much, but I still mess up all the time. It's Kai. My friend Kai, Kyanna, mermaid. It's only been 3 years. Put 2 and 2 together. Her whole face breaks out in a fierce blush. The quiet elegance I'd seen in her earlier is completely peeled away. Nothing could have prepared me for this. It's like her demeanor has done a complete 180. I thought she was demure, but I guess she's just shy about making mistakes in front of humans. Either way, it's absolutely adorable. She is absolutely adorable. Don't apologize, it's cute. The way you mix up your words, it reminds me of... Finally! So I've been visiting the cafe ever since my Brindling ended. I suppose I look quite different now, don't I? Brindling? That's quite the understatement. I didn't recognize you at all. An hour later, Kai and I are sitting together, lattes in hand at the counter. We've been talking so animately, I barely think either of us have paused our breaths. By now, I recognize her familiar shyness and her adorable mannerisms, but I have to admit, seeing her adult human form for the first time is still throwing me in a loop. Perfectly understandable, but I consider she still looked like a child 3 years ago. Always make sure you finish chewing your food. Ooh! The changes of face in particular are profound but not expected. After all, I know very well that mer people experience growth very differently from humans. A mer person's childhood, their Brindling period, will last from the time they hatch until they reach a normal age of human adolescence. Throughout the Brindling, mer children would barely appear to age at all, maintaining a childlike appearance for years and years. And then, at the Brindling's end, what awaited them was a highly accelerated transformation into an adult body, and the ability to adopt a human form. After I met Kai, because we couldn't really communicate at first, I remember wanting to learn more about her kind. I found out about the Brindling and the change to one of Baba's old books. As I also recall, I had to climb up her bookcase like a monkey to get it and slip on the way up. I cried for hours when I turned up at the beach covered in bruises. So when did your Brindling end? When I was about 17, it was a year and 3 months after you left. Not that I was counting. Obviously you were. When she catches me smiling, Kai turns away and scrambles for a drink. It's the cutest thing. But I suddenly remember something else. Wait, earlier, did you say your name was Kayana? Well, after you didn't seem to recognize me at the beach, I was a little embarrassed. She sighs heavily, resting her hand over her heart. Even though I came to the cafe just to see you again, I still couldn't bring myself to say anything. But Cayenne is the land name I chose for myself, so I wasn't exactly lying to you. I just had trouble pronouncing it when we were children. I do use it around Linsdale. My family Ocean still uses my C name, of course. I probably shouldn't pry into that. Mer people's C names are private. Intimate things, after all. I guess I should be careful not to call her Kai too much around town, though. With the niggling questions out of the way, I looped the conversation back around to what really matters. How was it, your change, I mean? Oh, it was better than I expected. The growing pains were bad for a while, but compared to the others who experienced it at the same time, my change was relatively quick. She takes the last few sips of her latte, then lays the empty cup down and fingers it pensively. I'm just happy that my outside finally matches who I am inside. We used to play on the beach together. We couldn't go far because, well... I chuckle as I head back around the kitchen counter to wash our cups and sauce. No legs? Right. We were growing up, and in my mind, I was growing up with you. But physically for me, nothing was changing, and every year, I felt like you were getting further and further away, and there was nothing I could do about it. You used to draw so many shapes in the sand, all the things I wanted to do, all those places I wanted to visit. But because of me, we couldn't do anything. Her eyes glazed over and she suddenly looks quite dejected. Not wanting to watch her beat herself up, I take her hand in mine. But we can now, No more hiding in rock pools or covering up our fins with a blanket I brought from the cafe. We can stay as far from the beach as we like now and go anywhere we want. Now that you have your human form, the world is your oyster. You just let me know what you want to do and we'll go do it. It works like a charm. Kayan's sandy eyes light up as she leans across the counter, beaming with excitement. Okay. But with your grandmother gone, you'll be working here full time, won't you? Until then, we can do something. I'll just stop by every day to see you. I shrug my shoulders, gesture towards the empty room in an exaggerated way. Thanks, I appreciate the company in more ways than one. Can you see, this place isn't exactly hopping. Without a regular too, quite honestly, I might struggle to make ends meet this summer. Based on today, I'll take just any customers I can get. Anyone but that vain folk anyways. The more I remember his smug face, the crabbier I get. It's at this point when I realize that I'm not so much drying cups as grinding the tea towel into them. Whoopsie. Jingle jingle. The bell of the door rings for a second time. Welcome, take a seat. I'll be with you straight. Speak of the devil. Mikhail strides inside, looking the interior over with both hands shoved into his jean pocket with a slightly furrowed brow. He looks definitely less cool and collected than this afternoon, although it's obvious he's trying his best to mask it. Nice place you have here. The drafty cracks in the wall are a particularly nice feature. Punch you. He is not cute. Not at all. My jaw joints creak like an unoiled metal as I force a smile. Instead, tourism prides itself on the town's beachy sea, which deprive our customers just because they're outdoor. Why deprive our customers just because they're indoors? Cute, very cute. Sensing Kayan's discomfort, I adjusted the counter seat with an audible huff. Well, sit down if you're here to order. You are here to order. Malachi slides into the seat directly beside Kayana, and he beams obnoxiously as he pulls out his phone. Of course, and I don't need a menu. Just serve me your best attempt at coffee. You're gonna pay for it? Please, of course I will. I'm not trying to put you out of business. Although, I retreat to the back of the kitchen and begin scooping and grinding the coffee beans. I keep one watchful eye on Malachi all times. Thankfully, though, his gaze is still roaming all over the interior and he isn't trying to snap pictures. But it's obvious he's searching for something. A juicy tidbit, a draw for his story, and so after his eyes complete their rounds of decor, they naturally come to fall on his neighbor. Are you a regular here? Yes, I come here almost every week. His eyes widen in genuine surprise. Really? What's your usual order? If it's that good, maybe I should order that too. Oh, She flutters her eyes at me, begging for assistance, but I'm way ahead of her. I make 3 strides back to the counter in a heartbeat and step in. She's a special customer. Her order's not on the menu, and it's a, shall we say, an acquired local taste. I doubt you'd like it. Gotta admit, though, I'm sorely tempted to put water in his coffee just for the heck of it. Must resist. Well, that's a shame. You'll have to let me in on the secret of that drink sometime, miss. Very sweet and polite, Kayana holds her hand to introduce herself. Kayana. Just Kayana's fine. I'm afraid I don't know much about the recipe or coffee for that matter. Just as I became concerned that Malachi might be about to defile Kyan's hand with a kiss, another one of those pretentious business cards appear in his hand and he drops into hers. Enchanté, I'm Malachi. Fucking punch this dude. And I just happen to be an expert on coffee. I'm a cafe blogger. Fucking punch him. Kosin? It's pronounced cuisine, Hina. It means food. I turn to Malachi and scramble for a cover-up. She's not from around here. But her accent, she doesn't look convinced at all, but thankfully, Hannah's pure-hearted curiosity comes to the rescue. You write about food. So then you're here to write about coffee curiosities. Yes, that's the intention. No doubt you've heard of my... McKenna had already stopped listening. Blue Rose, this is perfect. Now you don't have to worry about finding customers. Once he tastes your coffee, I'm sure he'll love it, and if you write something good, people come from all over Linsdale. McKenna, my sweet summer child, your innocence is wasted on him. No, she is adorable. He's not that kind of blogger. As I slowly turn the coffee grinder, I give Malachi a disapproving side eye, and he shifts in his seat. The twitchy guy sitting beside you only visits coffee shops he expects to be bad. His blog is just a collection of hatched jobs designed to be shocking and to tank any business he writes about. He's only here because he thinks my coffee's gonna taste so undeniably terrible it'll make for a juicy article. With one last yank, I grind the last of the coffee beans into dust. Or have I missed something out? Malachi practically rolls his eyes into the next century. Hey now, you make it sound like I'm the enemy here. I ask my darling readers and they'll tell you. The only two things I'm guilty of in this business is being criminally handsome and honest. You're not handsome. And I highly doubt you're truly honest. And the coffee they serve at all these other cafes just happen to be honestly awful. Not everybody has a Michelin chef to prepare them coffee every morning. So just think of it this way. This is your perfectly fair chance to impress me. Not that you will. I've savored all the finest buns this world has to offer, but you're welcome to try. Give him one that'll knock his socks off, and when he goes to leave, give him one on the house for writing a good review and use that milk that's in the fridge. Ruin that fancy sports car. Again. That you will. I've savored all. I already read that. It seems to take Diana a few moments to process all the information. I guess she still isn't all too knowledgeable about the side of human society yet. But once it does click into place, she looks crushed. But that's how could you do something like that? Two hardworking people. It's so... I'm guessing the word she meant to use is despicable. I'm happy she has my back, but I can't. I just wasted her breath. Besides, this coffee critic just unwittingly challenged a witch. Do it. I'm not the one who's about to be eaten alive. Okay, not that far. It's alright, kinda. He has the right to do what he likes, and so do I. All I have to do is prove him wrong. So go ahead. With a single finger, I slide a cup across the counter in one fluid motion. It stops just shy of his hands and taunting him like a gauntlet being laid down in a declaration of war. It emits a powerful, bitter aroma so tantalizing that it clings to the air and doesn't let go. A mouth-watering aroma no person could resist. The secret house blend with a little pinch of something special mixed in. I sneak Diana a mischievous grin and she understands my meaning impeccably. Drink up, you won't be disappointed. What's the matter? You should drink it before it gets cold. I won't use this excuse that it's bad simply because you ruined its flavor by letting it sit too long. Brimming with devilry, I decided to push him just a little harder. As the expert here, you wouldn't make that mistake, would you? Watching him squirm and tug at the collar of his jacket, I realize I'm enjoying myself far too much. Still, I can't take my eyes off him. I stare him down until he finally gives in, puts the cup to his lips, and... all that bravo, and it's mediocre after all. But he takes another sip. Exactly, it's completely, and another, completely, and another, and another, and another. Just reading that. No. Hunching over, he slams the cup down on the counter and stares at the dumb display. He's shaken and a little breathless, and there's something clouded within his expressions. Delicious. It's 9 p.m. Closing time draws near on this. My first day of running the cafe as I finish scribbling down orders on a pad of receipt paper. I rip the page out and hand it over. So 3 secret blends, 1 small and 2 grande. That's 7 gold. He's been scowling like this ever since he finished his first cup. Truly, he looks more mystified than anything else. After the first cup, he sat shell-shocked for several minutes, then shot up and demanded 2 more of the same drink in quick succession. When they were ready, Kyan and I huddled together, watching him discreetly over the tops of our own lattes. He never took more than 1 small sip at a time, crossing his arms and quietly remembering about the taste before going back for another sip. I realized how many counts he frowned his brow, and how many pictures he took, and how many notes he typed in his phone. After half an hour, I thought he finally admitted defeat. But Malachi, 7 gold. Right now, Malachi is clutching onto his gold, pouting comically. He looks like a child who doesn't want to give up his favorite marbles unless his parents agree to trade him for a cookie. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I almost feel sorry for him. No matter how hard he ranks his brain, he's never going to figure out the secret. Wait, why do I feel more guilty for cheating at coffee than I did wrecking his card? Mild point. Just a little point. Oh, right, here. Thanks, here's your change. I don't get it. How? Tell me how. It's all finally too much for his pride and he explodes, slamming his hands down on the counter. How is your coffee that good? This place has terrible reviews. Everywhere. It's a dead spot online. There's no way coffee around here could be this good. Wait, terrible reviews? When he sees that I have no intent in answering him, Malachi clasps his head, defeat, and sighs. He's still pouting like a child. Tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to make absolutely sure it isn't a fluke. I'm not writing my review until I know you're not cheating, so bring your A game. Looking forward to it. He concedes and stomps away to gather up his phone as he moves out of earshot. A very apologetic-looking Korean takes his place. She leans in and whispers in my ear. Is he going to be alright? He looks kind of upset. He'll get over it. I have a feeling he might turn out to be quite useful. As I'm done for Malachi, I write out her receipt and pass it on. Here you go. How are the lattes? Not salty enough? She puts her hand to her face, cheeks pink with content. Not at all. They were perfect. Even more so than your grandmother's. Your kelp lattes leave me feeling completely refreshed. I feel like I have to sneeze, but it's like stuck. Being out of the sea for so long sure must be tough, huh? Anytime you need to pick me up, you know where I am. Thank you. Just as Malachi is making his way back, Kiana puts her hand into her purse, fishing around for gold. She fumbles a little bit like she's having trouble. Oh, I forgot. Maybe she doesn't even know how human currency works yet. Before I can even cover her, Malachi steps forward, trying to act chivalrous. No need to be flustered. I have more than enough for both of us. No, it's fine. Here, is this enough? She tips out. Kiana, it was 8 gold, not 800. Oh. Well, that's okay. I have so much anyways. Just take it. She turns to Malachi with the sweetest innocent smile. Would you like me to pay for yours too? No, it's Oh, you just got double served. I love it. Did I say something wrong? No, you didn't. Don't worry about him. I paused thinking back to what Malachi had let slip earlier. Kiana, this cafe. Does it have a bad reputation in Linsdale? Late into the night, I'm staring absently-minded into Baba's crystal ball with my head on the table. A fuzzy blanket around my shoulders and Hannibal in my lap. Baba's rabbit-shaped letters still hopping about on the desk. Dodging all of Hannibal's paw swipes. All around us, the dustpan and broom go about their nighttime cleaning. Sweep, sweep. Sweep, sweep, sweep. I still can't stop thinking about it. Terrible reviews. That's what he said. Kenna didn't seem to know anything about it, and then again, I doubt she'd pay attention to something like that. No reason not to find out for myself. Once for all, I slipped my phone from my pocket, punched in a few keywords, and hit enter. Sure enough, it turns out a dozen results, none of them good about this place. At least it turns out Malachi hadn't been exaggerating after all. Dismal star ratings, mentions of crummy decor, photogenic evidence of bad service. There's even one that looks like a secret shot taken from under someone's armpit. No way, Baba's just plain asleep in this one. At the counter, just not even trying to hide it. All the public reviews, at least some, have been written with the point of view of the outsiders. But this doesn't come from me much. It only means that Linsdale's residents still care enough about Baba as a friend to not out her online. Let me guess. All these ratings go back, 3 years. Not so subtly back to the end of my last summer in Linsdale. So she stopped caring when her granddaughter stopped showing up. Suddenly extremely irked all over again, I grab a pillow and hurl it into a general direction of the bookcase. Several old ledgers come tumbling down and clatter on the ground. Honestly, Baba, you're a powerful witch. If you didn't want to run a cafe in the first place, why do you just do literally anything else? Exactly why Dad's always worried about you. Just hired more people. After screaming out some of my frustration to the void, I haul myself over to the pile of books and start gathering up. Hannibal trots near, stepping all over the ledgers, and then curls up for a snooze. She's about as helpful as a sixth toe. And what about you? You didn't think to mention that tidbit, did you? The truth is, even if her heart never had really been in the cafe, I knew exactly why Baba chose to stay in Linsdale all these years. Once she had laughed and told me it was because she could lie on the sand in a bikini drinking coconut juice every day. But really, it was because all the shirtless surfers, wasn't it? I picked up the last little ledger, shaking Hannibal off the cover, but I stop when I realize it's this year's edition. Something in me holds back from returning to shelf before taking a peek inside. A feeling, or more like a terrible witch's intuition, that Baba had one more bony skeleton in her closet waiting for me to discover. Her escape, the bad reviews, the empty pantry, the shifty locals, even the brand new tablet, all clues were aligned to suggest one very damning picture. So I thumbed through the first few pages and my face grows ashen. I knew it. She's totally broke. It's almost as if I can feel the skeleton of fate springing from the darkness of the proverbial closet to put its arms around my neck. But that's not all. At my feet, the tiny paper rabbit bounds up, currently announced by a cute tilt of a head that has one more message for me. It levitates up and unfolds itself into the air, stopping at eye level. A space at the very bottom of the letter slowly stains with ink. A second postscript that had been hidden until this exact moment. Blue Rose, PPS, that's right, I'm broke. Don't know how that happened really. Be a dear and sort something out before I have to file for bankruptcy. I foresee a future. I believe in you. That cat has a third eye. At the crack of dawn, the alarm goes off, my eyes snap open, and I launch myself out of bed, almost bearing a sleeping Hannibal in the duvet I shove off. After I brisk around on the spot, I slap my face a few times until I'm absolutely fully awake and ready to deal with this nightmarish situation. Thanks, Barbara. Alright, action plan for today. Step 1, get dressed. I tear the wardrobe door open, throwing whatever I touch first onto my body. Being fashion conscious isn't going to make a difference today. No, we chose green instead of black. Okay. Step 2. Don't think how much pain you're going to inflict on Baba when she shows her face. No plotting, no cursing, no hexes, nothing. Focus. Today is all about customers, cash, and coffee. Nothing else. Well, mostly cash. I leave the bedroom behind and hurry down the corridor towards the kitchen. Snapping life into the closed curtains and air conditioner with fingers as I go. Cool air and sunlight flooded the room just as I stepped outside to flip the sign. The sign said open. I paused briefly to place a kind hand on the warm cafe wall, take in the crisp brining morning cafe. It's a beautiful day. Step 3, save this place. Save my home. Malachi, tell me, because I'm dying now. Do the bricks ever talk back? I turned about to see him grinning mischievously, clearly in a better mood than I expected today. The bare skin peeking out above his t-shirt is already glistening a little from the tropical morning heat. You look... Don't say cute. Don't say cute. Don't say cute. Sweaty. Do you look sweaty? Do you like sweaty? He throws his head back and laughs at my reaction before taking a few steps closer. I'm just teasing, mostly. F off. Get away from me. Listen, I did some thinking okay. I read that as I did something last night originally, not some thinking, and I forgot to plug in my phone that I was using to see chat to make sure everything was running. Way to go me. Listen, I did some thinking last night over in the, well, quite honestly, very subpar hotel I stayed in. My car's in for repairs, so it looks like I'll be stuck here for a while. So I'm not here for a fight. So as long as I'm here, I'll take another cup of Special House blend of yours every day for research purposes only. The image of the dusty old pile of ledgers in Baba's secret room flashes up my mind. The writing scrolled across their pages, the zeros backing every number. Suddenly I'm feeling very admirable at keeping Malachi around as much as possible. You'll never figure out the recipe to that blend, but you spend 20 gold a day at least for as long as you're here, and maybe I'll agree to let you in on the secret. Okay. A slow smile spreads across his face. Fine. I'll come in. You're darkening my doorstep. He actually laughs a little at that. Charming. I don't even get a hello. I reserve hospitality for customers I actually like. At the end of a second grande-sized cup, Malachi exposes himself and then places his fingers together, rests his arms on the counter. Composes, not exposes. Oh, wow, I am failing. Whew. I don't find him attractive, but my words and my thinking seem to say the otherwise. Alrighty then. Just gonna keep on. It's passable. Wouldn't kill you to exercise humility for 2 seconds and just admit it's the best coffee you've ever tasted. Now that the shock of the first dozen sips and the feeling of being put on his backside was worn off, it seems like Malachi's ability to at least pretend to be critical of taste. Well, I suppose there's something to be said for magic gradually losing its potency for more ingested. Nothing I can do about that. So enlighten me. What's that? Malachi tilts his chin towards the small signboard and chalk sticks I'd found yesterday inside the hatch box, which are now laying on the countertop waiting for me to transform into an advertising masterpiece. Coffee Curiosities is scrabbled across the top in multicolored chalky block letters along with a cascading list of some of the more attractive items on the menu. I wrote the words late last night, the sign's still more, definitely missing some much needed pizzazz. Well, that's just step one of my grand marketing master plan. Snort. If that's your best attempt at marketing, I bet your first idea was a train wreck. How about you let the clear expert here give you some tips, and in return, you can give me that recipe. Oh gee, how about, no? Just as he opened his mouth again, the bell at the front door jingles, cutting Malachi's needling short. A moment later, Kiana shyly peers inside. Oh, hi, morning. Good morning, Blue Rose. Ah, Mr. McCall. Good morning to you. Ken takes a seat beside McCall, and while I start to mix up her latte, she spots the signboard and pastel chalk line on the side. Her eyes immediately light up. Oh, she's so cute. You're making a cuisine menu board. A cuisine menu board, Kiana. And yep, some drawings of teacups and cute animals will be ready to go outside. Can I help with the pictures? Sure. I mean, go ahead, knock yourself out. Okay, right? I mean, her drawing must have improved at least a little bit, right? It's a pretty lousy interpretation of a penguin. Penguin? No. It's a tuna in a top hat. Okay, now it's definitely a giraffe, right? Actually, it's an oarfish. Oh no. A pelican? This one's a seahorse. Or at least they're all sea themed. By now the board is so smushed with chalk residue that there's nothing to be done but erase everything and start over. I quickly put a hand on Kiana's sagging shoulders before she could do any more good intentional damage. Don't worry, Kiana. If you want to help with marketing, you can help me with something else, okay? Oh, okay. Why are you doing this? Is the cafe in a lot of trouble? I had been delicately swiping the board clean with a wet cloth, but Kiana's comment stops me in the tracks. Since the moment I've woken up this morning, I've been putting on an energetic front, deliberately avoiding negative thoughts to trick even myself into believing I could do this alone. But truthfully, I'm floundering, and I don't even want to lie to Kiana. Despite Malachi's snooping, beady-eyed presence, I decided to come clean. Well, actually, after divulging the situation, the alarming state of the ledgers I found the night before, Malachi and Kiana both sit quiet and pensive for a moment. Surprisingly, Malachi is the one to break the silence. Unsurprisingly, go straight back to the judging gabbing. Well, you may get some juicy tidbits from her blog yet. He leans back, shrugging his shoulders into a smug, exaggerated way. I mean, really, what do you expect? This place is practically falling apart. I begrudgingly cast my eyes over the room, unable to deny it. Ugh, I know. And there's earthquake-level cracks in the floor. I know the owner has a nasty habit of being mean to 50% of their paying customers. You take pleasure in being equal parts correct and infuriating. Always. Just when I expect him to follow up with more insults, Malachi's face grows uncharacteristically serious. Look, just because your cafe is actually somewhat decent, I'm level with you. You want to dig yourself out of this mess, there's only one tool that's going to serve you best as a shovel. He slips his phone from his pocket and holds it up to my face as evidence. Three words: social media campaign. You need money, and the only way to guarantee is to drag customers in on a wave. You people, city people willing to spend, outsiders who flock to the place for the authentic look after you spruced it up a little. Because let's face it, nobody in this town is willing to come here. Drop Linsdale like they've dropped you. You don't need them. What you need is fresh blood and an aggressive strategy. Luckily for you, I'm feeling unusually sympathetic, so I extended an olive branch just this once and help you make that happen. The bulk of his speech wrapped up, Malachi leans back and his arms behind his head, a small smile playing at the edge of his mouth. Well, it's not like you started chance using this method without me. Looks like I have to agree to be your knight in shining armor. Well, I think you're wrong. As I glance over to Kyanna, I realize she looks genuinely a little hurt by Malachi's words. Linsdale is filled with good, kind people. Maybe they just stopped coming to the Cafe Curiosities because Blue Rose's grandmother didn't run the cafe very well. But they are really good. We shouldn't hold that against them, and I'm sure they'll come back here if we try to. Reach. What is that right word? Is that the right word? Out to Kyanna. So please don't give up on Lindell yet, Blue Rose. If you could show the locals that this is a worthwhile place to come to, that the food and drinks are tasty, and the service is good, the cafe will survive, right? I'm sure the residents of Lindell will come if you ask them, so I will help you. I blink at the two in front of me, a little stunned by their arguments. They're both actually making a great deal of sense. But whoever approach I decide to follow will probably mean we'll be spending a lot of time together from now on. In that case, I'll... choose my friend. Yeah, Lindell is Baba's town. And considering the good memories I have here, I like to think of it's my town too. That's not going to change. Getting people of Lindell back on our side and rebuilding the relationship with them should be my top priority. You're right. And instead of the Cafe Curiosities home, we should focus our efforts here. I'm so glad. I'll see you tomorrow then. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Malachi shrug, dissatisfied, but he chooses not to push any further. For the rest of the day, Kyanna and Malachi stay at the cafe, each offering advice from their own perspectives. Not a single other customer comes in to order, and for once I'm glad. Planning takes priority, and before we know it, our discussions are sketched well into the afternoon beyond until the sunset calls an end to our little council. As the night rolls in, I say goodbye to a sleepy Kyanna and Malachi. Close up and decide to catch an early night myself, knowing I'll need the rest I can get to prepare for what tolls ahead. My head hits the pillow, and my eyes immediately grow heavy. I've just enough awareness left in my brain to wonder how well this new partnership of mine is going to actually work out before I slip off into a troubled sleep. It's beautiful, isn't it? I look over to the girl on my left, her face beaming with contentment. Even the sun can't help but take a dip in the water. Isn't it wonderful? The sunset peaks over the horizon, surrounding us in a golden pink glow. The water ripples across the sand beneath our feet. It really is beautiful. But why? Why are you crying? We're so excited to get ideas rolling yesterday. Now I have to actually start working on them all. Why is brainstorming so much more fun than actually doing the ideas? Yeah, it's easier to talk the talk than to walk the walk. I will admit that. I hesitantly throw the covers off my bed, disrupting Hannibal in the process. Kenny will probably be here in an hour or so, so I shouldn't make her wait. Yeah, as usual, no one's clamming on the door to order. I wonder how many people even know we're open for business. I get out the broom while thinking about our action plan. Sweet. First, this place needs a whole makeover. It looks like it hasn't seen a customer since Baba was a child. The walls need patching. Maybe we can throw a new coat of paint on, some decorations. Next, we need a marketing campaign, whatever that means. Not like I mentioned, but it sounded like a bunch of business nonsense. It's actually not. You really do need marketing. They did have some practical ideas for getting the word out, like flyers and promotions. Okay, and I can figure out later once we get done with renovations. We also need to finish the new menu. Baba never had the best taste of what's hip. Ugh, where do we even start? Good morning. Good morning. I turn around to greet Kaya only to see her lugging an armful of paint supplies, carbon tools, and more. Oh, sweet heavens. But what is all that? Tools? Does she even know what half of them are? What are we gonna do with all of it? You said the place could use a fresh coat of paint, so I bought some. And some brushes. She holds up a hammer and screws. And this is for the walls. Hannah's idea of home improvement sure is a lot less funny when I picture her doing it to the cafe. Okay, let's set all this down over here and not scratch up the tile. Where did you get it? No, I think things are better left unknown. Let's see, you got 4 different paint buckets here, each a different color and different type of paint. We have nails that are all different lengths, and plywood. Yep. The wall cracks need replastered, so that's what this is for. The paint is for covering up the plaster, and the paint is for repainting all the walls with... We need some new decorations, depending on where the studs are in the wall. We might need different length nails and some screws just in case we need repairs. The paint is just for furniture. It's glossy but durable and should give them all a brand new shine. She might actually know her stuff. Huh. Where did you learn all this? Oh, she's so cute. I love watching those cute home decor videos on the line. I love it. She's so cute. Might have spent an entire week binging home craft tutorials once. This is great though. We might actually be able to make this place look great. I certainly didn't know the difference in paint and nail types. I'll start replastering the cracks. You can place this tarp down and repaint the tables. Sounds good. I thought painting was fun. No, it's just paint. I just repainted tables. Why is it so tiring? I look over Canada who's staring at the replasted cracks, wiping the bead of sweat from her brow. Is she? Okay, you painting in that outfit is one thing. Just take off the jacket and go. Are you plastering in that outfit? Granted, it's very doable. I built a chicken coop in a dress on my own, and 2 people were supposed to build it at least. But I know that shoulder style doesn't allow you to put your arms up that high without, like, pulling up. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that she's in the tank top and skirt and she just took off the other part. We barely started and I already feel so indebted to her. I couldn't have done this alone. I can't do this alone. Just her being here makes me feel so more confident. I can't let her efforts go to waste. Alright. Kenna jumps up and my sudden outbursts. We haven't said anything for the past hour. Is something the matter? It's lunchtime. Let's take a break and I'll make us something to eat. It's already been a few hours. Alright, I'll let you handle it. What were you thinking about? How about an Eggs Benedict? For lunch? I don't have the heart to tell her I haven't had breakfast yet. Yeah, why not? Sure. She walks over to one of the chairs I haven't started finishing and closes her eyes. Take out the eggs and muffins, sneaky glance at her a few times. She's deep in thought on something. We haven't spoken in years, but here we are, thrown into fixing this broken mess. What's happened since I left? Okay, Anna? She snaps out of her thoughts. Yes? What What have you been up to? Up to? It feels like I spent half of my time at home, half of my time wandering up here. What do you do up here? Some humans aren't the most keen on what's best for everybody, and what includes most of them are what's best for the mer people. A few corporations and towns have been discreetly polluting the waters, not enough to immediately be lethal to us, but enough to hurt us over generations. They're not doing it out of malice, but not caring, thinking about the numbers rather than living things that might be suffering. I think she means malice, but I digress. I'm sorry to hear that. What can you do about it? I can stand outside their office and yell. My father gave me permission to venture out into the human world to try to stop this. But it's easier said than done. The corporations don't want to listen to problems. They want cost, elective solutions. But I won't give up. I haven't given up at the past 172 board meetings, so I won't stop yet. What a chirper. If you won't give up, then neither will I. Huh. It's been a rough few days, but we've made much progress. The furniture doesn't look so scary to sit at, and the walls are looking more sturdy than by the day. Not longer will this place look like it's falling apart. It'll be the top. Tight to myself. No longer this place looks like it's falling apart. It'll be the talk of the town, just so you see, Baba. Still, where did Cayenne run off to? It's so chilly out here so close to the water, but it looks so inviting. Kiana and I would spend so much time out here, enjoying the view and the cool touch of the water. Most families have already packed up to return home for the night, but I can still make out the silhouette of a person in the water. And the person walks calmly into the ocean until they fall forward into the water. Hey, are you okay? I rush the spot only to find a drop off in the water. I have to stop myself from falling in. It's so dim here, but I'm able to make out the person in a different form. Kayana? Her mermaid form is so regal now. But who's the man she's with? Intimidating man. Have they agreed to the new policies? I haven't checked in with them yet. What are you doing the past few days? Lalika? Not to be idling about. You're to fix this. You need to send someone else to finish your job. No, I'll finish it, Father. People are hurting. We can stop that. Remember that. The man gives her a nod and then steps into the ocean. Kiana just stares at the spot he was standing. The breeze ripples in the water in her hair. I left you years ago. I'm not going to sit by and do it again. I trot through the cold, uneven sand until I'm a few feet away. She doesn't move. Kiana? I'm sorry. Thought I could handle both. When I saw you were back in town, I was so excited. I thought I could still help my people while also helping you. You need to prioritize the health of your own people, I understand. You've already been such a big help to me. I can't thank you enough. She nods, staring at the sea. You've helped me, so let me help you. What do you need to do? Well, we still need the city to sign off on any new restrictions that would force corporations in town to pump waste in a new secure facility. But just mermaids backing it won't be enough. They gave me a stack of papers for a petition. They'll need at least hundreds of names for the city council to consider a new anti-pollution pollution bill. We need more people on board. Wait, what was that marketing campaign thing Malachi was talking about? You want my help with what? It's an eco-friendly thing. It'd be the spin the cafe needs to stand out. You said we need a hook, right? I have to be careful not to mention why Kaina's conversation. Yes, but okay. Do you want to go green with the cafe and help promote this local issue? How are you going to do that? The bill needs 1,000 signatures before it be reviewed by the city council. We can help advertise that with the opening of the cafe, let people experience a environmentally friendly dining experience. Yes. Well, it is a hook, alright, but only if the rest of the cafe matches the branding. What kind of straws are you using? Plastic. To-go cups? Plastic. Is there anything in here that is eco-friendly? Bob didn't strive for any products other than bottom of the line. Malachi shakes his head while Kaina looks horrified. We can't say you want to support this bill and then have all the things that say otherwise. It's all or nothing. Yeah. We'll get some of those paper biodegradable to-go cups and our metal straws for drinks here. And metal straws are in stock drinks. Guess I'll pack up the plastic for a slow day or something. It'll be a waste to throw them out. Okay, that's something to start on. Have you made flyers yet? No. That's probably a good thing then. Let's emphasize the campaign of healthy aesthetics. Make sure the flyers feel like you want this cafe to project. Oh, we'll draw kelp on it. Sure, what else? Fish. Fish? Yeah, they'll be swimming. Does the cafe even serve fish? No, of course not. Malachi gave me a dumbfounded look. I gave him a shrug and a smile. Let's take a step away from the fish idea, though I do like the kelp idea. To go with the kelp, how about include different organic ingredients we use? That can work. You can gear an entire campaign around informing customers on what's in their drinks. There's this one cafe that I went to that had tours go through their ingredient farm. Okay, so we'll have the flyers highlight different organic ingredients. Sounds good. Yes, we can have each flyer highlight a different drink and what it goes into it. She's brewing with delight. Even Malachi can't help but smile. I'll start on the flowers now. I can't tell if I need more coffee or I should not have made a second one. I'll start on the flyers now. And I notice my speaking has gotten faster. So maybe I should have had that cup of coffee. Oh, another cup of coffee. Thanks, Kaina. Malachi brushes off his pants and stands up. Sounds like you two have it figured out then. Yep, I think it's a good way forward. Thank you for helping us. Well, consider I wasn't even expecting the cafe to come this far. Consider it a freebie. Save me a C3 opening. I will. I guess he's not too bad. It still started off pretentious. He waves and heads out the door. What an odd guy. I turn back to see Kaina fiercely scribbling on papers. Maybe we should print out the text in the flyers first and then add doodles on them. I sigh and head back to the table. Finally the last of the coffee. Finally, the renovations are complete. I should not have had a second cup of coffee. I'm afraid to take off some of the tarps until the grand reopening, though we still have a lot of paint and tools lying around. But the majority is done, and I never thought I'd see the day. Just wait until Baba sees this place. She won't even recognize it. Kiana had left a few hours ago to meet with the city council, but she should be back soon. I have to thank her for all her hard work. It's not the most quaint, but maybe a home-cooked meal will do. What do I cook her, though? I'll make her some pasta primavera. She'll love all the veggies. I grab some vegetables and start chopping away. Don't forget the sun-dried tomatoes. I never pictured myself returning here in this way. Baba gone, the shop in disarray, reuniting with Kiana. It's been a wild couple weeks for sure. But I don't regret it. Running a shop on my own certainly wasn't in my plans for the future. I'm not even sure I'll want to do it for long after we get back off the ground, but I'll see where it takes me. Of course, I'm not even sure if it'll get back off the ground. We put in so much work renovating it, but it'd be useless if people still keep the stigma of how it was in their minds. I can't let our hard work go to waste. Kiana put so much effort into this. She's worried about her people's health, and yet she's still here helping me so much. What a good friend. Coming in. Oh no. Kiana steps in with a dejected look. Do I want to know how the city council meeting went? Coffee. No. They told us we need even more signatures to get it to pass. How many? She pulls out a stack of papers. All of these. All of them have to be viable signatures too, not just random names. She slumps down on the couch. It's like they just don't care. They don't see the damage, they don't feel the damage, they don't care. They think it's beyond their control. If I could show them what it's doing, they'd change their minds. If I could just drag them underwater. Let's avoid you getting arrested for kidnapping. I sit down across from her and place a hand on hers. We'll figure it out. Trust me. She sighs. I wish I could believe that. She idly flips through her phone. An older version of a smartphone she got secondhand from somewhere. While I go back to tending to dinner. I don't know much about her home, but I know it's far below the water. Too far for consumer-grade equipment to reach. They've adapted in their own ways of darkness and the ways of having natural light. The typical consumer-grade underwater camera would never be able to document down there. Unless we were able to get a dive team with recording equipment, we'd never be able to show them what it's like down there right now. And that's if the city would even care. All now making myself depressed. I stir the pan vigorously, trying to refocus myself. Just a nice dinner for the two of us. We can worry about the cafe and the bill tomorrow. Just some quiet time. Alright, here we are. I set the pasta primavera down in front of her. Her worries quickly fade as she smells food. Let me turn on the light. I quickly walk over to the light switch and flick them on, figure out which one is where she's sitting. When I finally find the one for the table, the light bulbs. Oh. When was the last time Baba replaced the bulbs? I'll get a replacement, just wait. I run to the back of the shop to one of Baba's knick-knack cupboards, but it's in vain. There's no light bulbs for the ceiling lights. Well, at least she has some candles. So long story short, no more light bulbs, but we have candles. I set them on the table and light them with a snap. The girl from within half-abandoned cafe looks eerie, but against her face, it looks warm and inviting. A quiet candlelit dinner just for the two of us. She gives me a half smile and we dig into our meal. Oh, such a cute little date. The exhaust from the day, no, from the past week, sets in while we are eating. I feel myself slouch down in the chair and the weight of it all rolling off of me. We both eat most of our food in silence before slowing down and mingling picking at it. Kiana idly pokes at the bell pepper slice. I never noticed how nice it is to sit down with someone for a quiet meal like this. At home we had meals together, but you could hardly call it family time. And the table was gigantic. We never had a casual sit-down time. Everything was under the pretense of being noble. She rests her fork down. I love them all, but it's so suffocating. My brother and sisters all act fine with it. Maybe they aren't, but they hide it. They play along. Is it because I play along? Are they just following their older sister? Should I have done something? She puts her head in her hands. And then you have the city council refusing to listen to us. We have to jump through all these loops and hoops to be heard. Feels like I don't have a say in anything. Hannah, what do you want to do? Now I have you asking me the tough questions. Would you roll your eyes if I said I don't know? I feel like I'm being pushed from place to place, yet I don't know where it is I'd go if I weren't. I'm just an indecisive mess. I feel you. Sometimes I think it's okay to go where the wind takes you if you don't know. That's how I came back here and arrived at the cafe. I don't really know where I want to be or what I want to do. Oh my god, I can't type. But I know magic is important to me, and so is this place. So if it's where the wind goes, that's where I'll go. Maybe along the way I'll find something better, but I won't know until I try. What I'm trying to say is, if you prioritize what's important to you and move towards that, it feels less like a rocking boat in the sea and more like you have a hand on the wheel. Maybe a fishing analogy isn't the best for a mermaid, but still. And I'll help you figure it out, if you want me to. We can figure out what the future has in store for both of us. Thank you. I love my family, and I love my people. But I really couldn't care less about being a ruler someday. I want to help them all, but I feel like I could do more groundwork right now. But I didn't say we had to figure out everything right now, but we can do it together on our own terms. She nods and gives me a sincere smile in the dim light. Yes, we'll figure it out together. Come to our cafe's grand reopening. Kiana waves flowers in her hand at the crowd, hoping to pique somebody's attention. 2 of us have been out here for a solid hour with not many people biting. At this rate, we'll have so many wasted flowers we might get ticketed for littering. We have salt kelp lattes that are really good. She tries to hand a flower to a small child, but she refuses, clinging to her mom instead. Kiana sighs and looks over at me at the table. Our small table was complimentary cafe, more flowers at the cafe and our menu, and several stacks of papers, the anti-pollution bill, with glass fish statues for paperweights. Kinda thought they were cute. So far we've had 10 people try the coffee, 1 person signed the petition, a few people took a flyer out of sympathy, but threw them away at the next block. Oh, that's just mean. Don't say that last part. This by far is gonna be the most exhausting day yet. I pour a cup of coffee and grab a flyer. Free coffee, take a flyer and sign our anti-pollution petition. No takers. Is the cafe's bad reputation that bad? Is no one willing to change their minds? Or was it ever even possible to revive it? Look over at Kiana, who's putting on her best customer service face, trying to talk to strangers. Even amidst her people's health crisis, even amidst their failing cafe, she refuses to give up. Neither can I. I grab the boxes of leftover to-go cups and plastics and I pile them into a small cart. Outside, Kiana is still trying her best, so try something too. Push the cart outside and head down a few blocks. It's been a few years, but I remember there being a popular beachside cafe down here. The owners were always pretty nice. Even if we can't get back off the ground, even if all this I won't go anywhere. I can try my hardest. It's how I forge my own path. The cafe is busy as usual. It's around noon after all. People are happily chattering in the booths, sipping their lattes, eating beach-inspired blue bundt cakes. I leave the cart outside as I walk up to the counter. The lady recognizes me instantly. Oh, Blue Rose, it's been so long. How are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. I finished high school almost a month ago and came back for the summer. That's good to hear. How's your grandmother? MIA and possibly on the run from debtors. She's away right now. I hope she's doing well. She's special. She's such an interesting person to have around. What brings you over here today? Want a slice of our chocolate chip peach bundt cake? Actually, I've been renovating Baba's cafe to reopen it, and we're going with an eco-friendly theme. So I got rid of all the plastic to-go packages, but didn't want to throw them away. I came to see if you'd want them. I got them outside in a cart. A reopening, but I know it has a bad reputation in town, but I can't let it go under. I want to revive it. We've already finished the renovations on the place. So you're sure about this? I nod, not losing eye contact. Why push for an eco-friendly experience? That's much more costly than using plastic. I want to support a new anti-pollution bill, but I can't while also contributing partly to the problem. Our plastic consumption is small, but I want to try to make a tiny difference in my own way. I don't want to see our drinks littering the beach. Alright, I'll take the leftover to-go cups. But I want one of your flyers. Blue Rose, where did you go? Sorry, I went to drop off the leftover plastics. I figured they'd be better used by someone else than sitting in the cabinets collecting dust. Have you had any luck? Well, this one tourist couple said they'd stop by. But I got a lot of odd looks from older couple when I told them where we're located. Maybe we should have just said we bought the cafe and it's under new management. I sigh and head over to the table. The coffee is lukewarm in thermoses and the petition has 3 more names on it. Well, let's give it one last push, shall we? Ever try a salty kelp latte or a sweetened warm bai tea? Come try them all at our grand reopening tomorrow. All of our lattes are made in-house with organic ingredients and only the freshest for our customers. Does that include a spit in the cup too? No, of course not. Well, what on earth were you doing? Make sure to let your voice be heard. Sign the petition to make the city council review a new anti-pollution bill. Do I have to buy a cup of coffee to sign it? No, just sign here. We still have hundreds of flyers left, but at least Kiana's getting some signatures. As the day dwindles on, our routine quickly gets old, and we take a break to avoid being public nuisances. Want to head to the square and take up flyers wherever we can? And tack up flyers. Let's go. The square is easy, the busiest place in town right now as people are getting off work and heading for entertainment and places to eat. Droves of people walking around, talking, eating, and more. It's a prime spot for business. It's also a prime spot for advertisement. We can't stand around for the flyers here or else we'll be loitering and asking to leave. But we can walk around to the local cork boards. On every wall and back alley here are boards for local advertisements, basically special events like concerts or book signings. They'll be perfect places to add some of our flyers to. You head left, I'll head right. Got it. We head off in separate directions. I head towards the bars and music venue while Kiana heads towards the restaurants and boutiques. Most of the boards are already covered in tack and half-ripped papers, but I still try to find a place to put ours. Place a couple on open tables I come across that aren't attached to an eatery and ask a bookstore if I could leave some on their counter. The flyers quickly start to brown out as I go from block to block, place them wherever I can. Even if people don't see them in time for the opening, they'll see them this week and come by later. Definitely. Empty? Empty. I guess we're done for the day. Let's head back. Thank you, Kiana, for everything. Even if tomorrow doesn't go well, even if I have to close this place for good, I want you to know that I'm truly grateful for everything you've poured into this. Once the cafe reopens, I know I have to go back to dictating all your time for helping your people, but I still want to hang out with you even if you're not busy. Well, I wanted to stay here and help you with the cafe. Only if you want my help, okay, of course. What about your people, your home? I haven't told my parents yet, but I want to stay here and do what I want. I can do more good for them up here than down there. If this bill passes, then I'll save countless lives for years to come. But there's still more battles to be fought. Maybe in a year or two, I realize I've done all I can and go back home. But I won't know unless I see where the wind takes me to stay here first. We've been brought together again for a reason. I want to see it through just a little bit longer. Sorry, I must sound presuming. God, I love her. She's so cute. Alright, really? I'm serious when I said I want to figure out our futures together, wherever that takes us. In a few years, we might find our futures diverting, but for now, let's see where it takes us together. I really like being here with you. I really like being by your side, too. When I was younger, I used to think being here at night was creepy. But somehow, with Kiana by my side, everything feels less scary. It's opening day. I need to make sure we have change for customers paying big bills, and the plants need watering, and the curtains need dusting, and we've been preparing for weeks, but it feels like I still have a lot left to do. With a bit of magic, I'm able to quickly straighten the curtains and let the plants look all nice. The chairs look in order, the counters are all clean, and I got the new open sign ready to go whenever. Just breathe, you've got this, somehow. Happy opening day. Kiana runs in and pulls me in for a quick hug. Her hair smells like sea breeze. I've straightened up the pamphlets, why don't you put on the opening sign? Really is time, isn't it? She squeezes my hand. It'll be fine, I'm here. I can't help but flush. Alright, it's time to open up. I grab the sign from one of the tables and head outside. As I figured there's no line for me outside, eager to get a seat, prop the sign up and head back in. Kiana shuffles the petition papers and looks over the names for the 30th time. After we close up for today, I'll figure out some way to help her get the signatures. Maybe we'll ask one of the venues to have some of the papers during their events. Some way to make it up to her. I barely recognize this place. Good morning, what can I get you? Can I just have a hazelnut latte? Sure, coming right up. I grab a cup out and start whipping up when the door opens again and again. We have a line of customers. I glance over Kiana, who's just as bewildered as me. I can't let my surprise overtake me though. I've got customers to attend to now. With a hint of vanilla and some hidden magic, I have the first few cups ready for our new patrons. Although we haven't filled all the tables, it's comforting to see once was a vacant room buzz with life. Kiana chats with the couple who just received their lattes while they fix a cinnamon roll for a kid. The petition sits on the counter, slowly but surely getting filled out. Maybe this will work after all. Malachi, how do you do it? Do what? Bring in all the new customers? No. The cross promotion. The what? Malachi quickly whips out his phone and moves beside me. This, here. You got features one of the most popular local cafe accounts. How much did it cost? Your life savings? Her life savings? Let me see that. I grab the phone from him and look at what he's talking about. Beachside Bunts featured us. On the screen is a picture of one of our flyers with a caption talking about our reveal, our eco-friendly mission, and a call to action to help support local businesses. So you really don't know? No, I mean, I was talking to her yesterday, but I didn't think she'd do this. The cafe. The door opens again as a family walks in. The cafe will be full pretty soon at this rate. I feel a few tears come to my eyes. Excuse me, it looks like I need to get back to work. Come back and see us. The last patron exits the store, and Kiana locks it behind him. I deflated over the countertop, too tired to check the cash register to close out for the day, or even check how much we made. It's over. How much do you think we made? A lot. She smiles and pats my head. You're gonna get back pains if you sleep like this. Then move me. To my surprise, she walks around, wraps her arms around my back, and lifts me up slightly. Wait, I was kidding. Too late. Kenna carries me towards the back of the store and into my room. She sits me down on my bed. Alright, get dressed. Huh? We're going swimming. It's the perfect way to relax your muscles and mind after a long day. Yeah, maybe for a mermaid. There's still some sunlight left outside if we hurry. Come on. Okay. Kiana shuts the door behind her, and I have half a mind to fall back on my bed and sleep. But I know she'll just come in and wake me back up. Out of choices, I put on a bathing suit, cover up, and head out with her. There's always been this chilly in the evenings. She laughs gently, tucking her hair behind her ear with one hand and clasping my hand in the other. Feels much better once we're underwater, trust me. Wait, underwater? You remember I can't breathe underwater, right? It'll be okay. She pulls me closer to her in the water. The water splashes around us as we step into the ocean. The breeze is crisp and I don't care now. Hold your breath. One moment she's standing chest deep in the water holding my hand. The next we're both underwater. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been able to fill out the petition. I'd still be scared of the future, feeling like I didn't fully belong here. Anywhere. When you're here, I don't feel afraid. I feel brave. I want to stay with you in the cafe. The tides of change may come and go, but as long as I'm by your side, they can wash over me without knocking me down. It's very adorable and poetic. Are you running out of air? Then, the mermaid's kiss. Mermaid's kiss. Places her lips on mine. Together we'll be okay. Oh, I love it. It's so cute. After a little video editing, I will be placing this on YouTube, and I will post the link of the game so you can decide your own in-game fate, and if you can check out his storyline if you so desire. Thank you for being here. See you next time. Remember, I appreciate you. And see you next time.